The warehouse, the siege tower. I guess I should head back just to say, yo, did thing. Man, I'm so good at following instructions and maybe getting experience rewards. RPG protagonists are so altruistic by nature because they're actually rewarded for their behavior in a way that no one else realizes in the universe. The handbill is printed. It's not exactly accurate. 6,000. It's printed. Terrific. I knew you were the man for the job. Here, take this message to Keldor of Durian at the Foundry. I'm sure he'll be glad to receive it. And you'll be glad of the 100 coins you'll get in return. Keldor of Durian at the Foundry. Okay.
Updated my journal.
If you keep giving me experience like that, then I'll keep doing it. Jeez. Yeah, these are big spikes for everybody. It'd take a little bit longer to hit. Yeah. I guess it's 2,000 each because it's split. So not as immediately massive as it sounds, but it's still like... Those are numbers that are bigger than I'm used to hearing, and these are not significant tasks. I just wandered over and was like, here's the thing. And then the guy was just kind of a dick. Alright. Oh, this is the siege tower that just showed up. This appears to be a siege tower. The walls are scarred and pitted. It's seen many a battle in its lifetime. You cannot determine what this odd device is. I guess it's the siege weapon that just kind of showed up. Maybe from all the portals. When this whole place just got exploded a bit. So is Tryst a slave? You see a young woman who is trying to get your attention. She's wearing shoddy clothes, but her demeanor is one of elegance, unlike that of the people who surround her. Upon closer inspection, you notice that her skin is clean and smooth, lacking the yellow tint of the inhabitants of this ward. She notices your approach and smiles at you. Greetings. I thank the powers that you noticed me. I am in need of the services of a mercenary. She pauses and examines you more carefully. It appears, if appearances are any indication, you would seem to be such an individual. Appearances can be deceptive. A look of concern crosses her face. Yes, Cutter, forgive me. I did not mean to offend you. I am in a situation of, well, desperation. I have exhausted all resources available to me in order to remedy my situation, but what exactly is it you want of me? She nods to you. The heart of the matter is that I am to be sold into slavery for a crime I did not commit. I am in need of a champion, someone who will help me prove my innocence and free me from this fate. She pauses and looks at you expectantly. Tell me exactly what's going on. She thinks for a moment. This is long in the telling, Cutter. Please bear with me. She sighs as she begins her tale. My husband died recently and left me his business. I am not business-oriented, so I decided to sell. Not long afterwards, I was contracted by the lender saying a loan on the business has not been paid. She pauses to gather her thoughts. Good. I examined all the documents my husband kept and found that there had indeed been a loan taken, but it had just recently been paid in full. I explained this to the lender, and a few days later, he asked for a copy of the document. It was nowhere to be found. She looks concerned and pauses to think. Well, when I could not prove that the loan was paid, the lender took me before the court. My monies were taken and applied to the balance owed. Since it did not pay off the loan, I am to be sold on the block to try and recover the remaining amount due. She gives you a forlorn look. I don't understand. Why sell you into slavery? She shrugs. It serves many purposes. First, it keeps the prisons relatively clear of all the vilest criminals. Second, the sale of the convicted is used to pay for any damages, costs, or fees involved in the case. Finally, the convicted still serves a sentence from which they are eventually released, supposedly as better citizens. This is all fascinating, but I don't see how I can help you. I need someone to find the missing document. The one that proves the loan was paid. Or, if you could purchase my contract, I could pay you back. She gives you a pleading look. I can't spend the next 5 years of my life in this ward, Cutter. It would kill me. Surely you've noticed the illness shared by all who live here. Yes, the yellow skin and coughing. She nods her head. Yes, Cutter. Please, can you find it in your heart to help me? She looks at you nervously. Please. Yes, I'll help you. I have some questions, though.
Updated my journal.
She nods her head eagerly. Ask anything, Cutter. What's the lender's name? I know his name well, Cutter. After all I've been through, I will not likely forget it. She gets a faraway look, and then shudders for a moment. Byron Pickett is his name. There's a name we counted before. She pauses for a moment. And his associate may be someone named Lenny. Well, who is this Lenny? She thinks for a moment. There was a small, pharaoh-looking man who came to the court a few times. He would sit behind Pickett, noisy, and whisper to him occasionally. She pauses and looks lost in thought. She frowns. I remember him because he always seemed to be uncomfortable in his clothes. He would pick at them as if they were new, as if he were not used to wearing them. She pauses again. On one such occasion, Pickett told him to sit still and stop fidgeting. He called him Lenny. That kind of makes me wonder if Lenny transforms or something and isn't normally humanoid. Where can I find Lenny? She thinks for a moment, then shrugs. I'm not sure, actually. My husband told me some ruffians could be found southeast of the market, near the siege tower, I believe. Where can I find Byron? I think he can be found in and around the open-air market. Forgive me, but I'm not certain. Who do I talk to about your contract? That'd be Darren, the auctioneer. He's usually over there, on the block. He points to the front of the platform. Could you have misplaced the loan document? She shakes her head. No, Cutter. I am a very meticulous person. I kept the document in a lockbox in my husband's study. It never left that room. Do you think the loan document could have been stolen? She shrugs. I don't know. Why would anyone steal that? Yet leave other valuables be. It makes little sense to me. To specifically screw you over. Well, it was just a thought. She shrugs. A worthy thought, Cutter. It bears merit. Have you explained any of this to the courts you spoke of? She nods her head. Oh yes, Cutter. I've explained my situation to many. You were the first to be willing to help me. She smiles warmly at you. I think I must be going now. Farewell. Well, let's see if we can help her out then, if her story's true. Although not paying a debt is just not worth punishment with slavery regardless. So unless it's just a massive misrepresentation of what she was up to, it just is not justified in any way. I mean, slavery does not tend to be justifiable. The moneylender. Questions? Back again. I have some questions. No, I have had enough of you to last a lifetime. I will answer no more of your questions. Now pike it, sod. Rude. I want to talk to you about Tryst. Ah, Tryst. He frowns and looks away. After a moment he looks at you and raises his eyebrows. What about her? I'm trying to find a missing document for her. He sighs and shakes his head. There is no missing document. That was a ruse instigated by Tryst to cast doubt on her debt. This matter has been thoroughly investigated by the Mercy Killers, and they found no such evidence of any such document. The Mercy Killers? Yes, a faction of fanatics dedicated to uncovering the truth of criminal cases and handing out justice. They are often used as investigators by the courts of Sigil. They are quite thorough, and they found nothing. He glares at you. They could have missed something. That is a possibility, but not very likely. You obviously are not familiar with the Mercy Killers or their methods for you to make such a statement. If they could not find the document, then it does not exist. He looks at you angrily. Someone could have destroyed the document. So someone could have stolen the document, maybe even destroyed it.
Updated my journal.
For a moment, he looks like he's about to be furious with you. Then a gloating smile crosses his face. What a terrible thought. Pity there is no proof of such an activity. He continues to smile at you. Yes, a pity. So, tell me, why have Tryst sold into slavery? Couldn't she pay you your money in the form of a loan? Yes, she could, and I did make that offer to her. He looks at you sternly. However, she turned me down. I don't allow second chances. No one turns me down without suffering the consequences. No one. Oh, right? That sounds assaulty. Well, if any proof does exist, I intend to find it.
My journal.
He laughs at you. Well, good luck to you then. If the Mercy Killers couldn't help poor Tryst, I don't think you have a chance in the 9 hells of doing so. Now pike it, sod. He turns away from you. People have leaned really heavy on like one insult / response in this entire city. On one hand, kudos for making something up, but on the other hand, it's like, wow, they really like that one specifically. You best push off before I have to bleed you. What if I told you Byron Pickett sent me? He stops smiling and examines you a while. His eyes linger on your scars, and he swallows slightly. After a moment, a frown settles on his face and he appears to be nervous. Pickett sent you? Why? He said you could answer some questions. He frowns. What questions? You notice he looks rather tense. He can train you as a thief? I want to ask you about the papers you stole from Tryst. He swallows hard and stares at you. You notice his muscles tense and it looks like he's ready to run. He puts one hand on his hip in a nonchalant manner, but you can tell he's wound tight as a spring. I don't know what you're talking about, Burke. You'd best be off. Smile wickedly. You know what I'm talking about, Lenny. Byron had you steal some papers from Tryst. I'm here to collect them. He swallows hard, and the corner of one eye starts to twitch. He glances at the scars that cover your body, then tries to meet your gaze but cannot. Collect them. I destroyed the papers after I nicked them, just like Byron told me to. He finally meets your gaze. Then why are you so nervous, Lenny? I think you're lying. He stares at you just for a moment, then suddenly turns to run. Grab him before he gets away. Just as he starts to run, you leap forward and grab him by the arm. He struggles for a moment, but cannot match your strength. Finally, he goes limp in your grasp. All right, I didn't destroy them. I'll give them to you, just let me go. You loosen your grip. So you did keep them. Why? He snorts and gives you a defiant look. I kept them so I could turn stag on your boss Pickett. and keep Tryst off the block. By the way, Pickett is not my boss. He stares at you in disbelief. You serious? I thought... But you said... He watches you closely for a moment and then laughs. You gave me the peel so I'd spill the chant to you. He shakes his head and looks at you with respect. Good job, Cutter. Let's go get the papers, Lenny. He shakes his head sadly. We can't. They're in the warehouse and they're not open for business right now. Rumor has it there's some sort of management change going on. But I don't know if that's true. In any case, I can't get the papers. He looks at you sheepishly. That's why I haven't helped Tryst myself, Cutter. I can't get the sodding papers. I'll look into this and get the papers myself then. He smiles at you. Go to the warehouse and tell the clerk I'm here for a loan. He'll give you he'll give you Tryst's papers. If you then tell him I gave Pickett the laugh, he'll give you a bonus. What bonus? Evidence, Cutter. It'll take Pickett off the streets for a long, long time if you give it to the right person. He thinks for a moment. If there's someone in the Harmonium you think you can trust, give it to them. I guess the guy that I hooked up with a date is probably the setup for that, I guess. How come I don't understand why he can't get the papers? I thought he was saying that they're inaccessible because of what's going on with the warehouse, but then I can just go get them? It very quickly went from we can't get the papers to, oh yeah, just go get the papers. I just haven't been able to because reason. So Lenny was actually a decent dude.
What do I hear for this fine specimen right here? Do I hear 100? Come on, you there, what are you bidding?
Do I hear 100? Come on, you there. Ooh, that's a floating thing. What is that? Vault of the Ninth World? What? Welcome to the Vault of the Ninth World. How may I serve you on this fine day, Sigilian? What are you? I am the voice of the Vault of the Ninth World. I'm here to serve you, the customer. Instruct me in what you desire. Why is this place called the Vault of the Ninth World? Frankly, I have no idea. I think the owners thought it would be a clever name or something. Is this place really as big as a world? No, it's just a marketing exaggeration. There's a lot of space here, but not that much. I'd like to store something. Oh, I'm sorry, we seem to be full up at the moment. Can I do something else for you? I thought this was supposed to be a huge storehouse. Well, yes. The head sounds a little embarrassed. Only we ran out of space, and there's something a little fishy going on around here, and I don't know what. The gist of the matter is we don't really accept items for storage anymore. Oh. Then I have a few questions. This place is a front for crime. I'd like to claim something. And what is it you were looking for exactly? I was looking for a large bag of coins. We have a bag of coins like the one you described, sir. I just need you to find out one thing. How much was in it? Somehow this guess feels right. 1,123 coins. Here you go, sir. Thanks for storing your goods at the Vault of the Ninth World. Can I get you anything else? I was told to tell you I gave Pickett the laugh. I certainly hope so, sir. Whatever that means, I'm just a big, dumb rockhead. Here are your papers, sir, and here. Thank you. What can I do for you? Farewell. We at the Vault of the Ninth World value your business. Please return. Yeah, I'll bet. We value your business in that we don't do any business here. You can't use the vault. Well, that was reasonably easy to get. A list of the criminal activities of Byron Pickett. We still need to deliver this separately. If you're a proper dickhead, you can probably give these items specifically to Byron and get paid to cover his ass, essentially. There's a bunch of characters around here, but let's fix in on what we're doing right now.
I'm gone.
Do I just give them to Tryst? You see Tryst. She smiles at your approach and looks hopeful. Have you found the document, Cutter? Can you free me? Yes. I will give it to Darren and he will free you. A look of relief washes over her face. You think she's about to faint, but she quickly recovers. Thank you, Cutter. Please return to me after you speak with Darren.
What do I hear for this fine?
Who is Darren?
Come on, you there. What are you bidding?
There are so many characters around. Oops. What was this guy's name right here? Corvus. You see Corvus the Harmonium Guard. He smiles at your approach and gives you a slight bow. Hello, friend. I hope you are doing well. How are you and Karina doing? He smiles broadly. We are doing well, thank you. I owe you for your kindness, friend.
All right.
Give me 2 back.
It's not mentioned anywhere in there.
All right.
Darren. Horror. Vorten. Sebastian. Oh, the coffin maker. Wow. That's somebody that was hinted at a long time ago. Huh. Let's see, do we have is there a Harmonium HQ I can go to? I don't think I can click on other maps to see their interiors. And I don't think the Godsmans are Harmonium related. Just talk to this guy. Seems uninterested in talk. Oh, Darren. Shit. I missed him in the crowd. You see a boisterous auctioneer. He's very animated and does a lot of shouting, yelling, and stomping. He seems to have a tendency towards melodrama and makes a lot of strange facial expressions as he waves his arms. Greetings. He glances at you and motions to the crowd that he's taking a break. Well, 1,000 greetings do I bestow upon you, sir. He takes a double take as he notices your scars. You know, I take one look at you with my discerning eye and I see a man in the market for some healing charms. Do you have any charms? He gives you a shocked look and gestures grandly at himself. Do I, Darren, have any charms? He pauses for effect. No, sir, I do not, however. I do not. However, don't let that fact discourage you. I have plenty of other items for sale. He points to the rear of the auction block where a group of people stand in chains. You sell slaves? He shakes his head. No, sir. These are indentured servants. Are they, though? Not slaves. For the most part, they are guilty of minor crimes. The proceeds from their sale go towards paying their debt to the city. After their term of servitude, they will be free citizens once again. Still sounds like slavery to me. He gives you a bright smile. I don't concern myself with such thoughts. My task is to sell their contracts as given by the courts of the Sigil. He lowers his voice as he leans in closer, and collect a percentage for my efforts, you understand. He straightens. You said they were guilty of crimes. What crimes did they commit? He shrugs, his shoulders in an exaggerated way. It's what a weird way to say. I said this so strangely. He shrugs his shoulders in an exaggerated way. I don't know for certain, but I would guess theft, assault, or not being able to pay their debts. Those are the most common transgressions. Little time for wigwag, friend. There's dealing to be done. Speak quick. I want to ask you about Tryst. He frowns a moment, then shrugs. Very well, sir. What about Tryst? She says she doesn't belong on the block. He sighs, then frowns at you. Would you say otherwise if you were in her shoes? He shakes his head. I have heard her story, sir. Although I sympathize with the lady, there is nothing I can do without evidence to back her up. What if I can prove she's innocent? He laughs and looks at you mockingly. As an agent of the courts, I could go before them with new evidence and have all the judgments against Tryst reversed. Do you have such evidence? Yes. He smiles broadly, then laughs. Very well. Show me this evidence. He holds his hand out to you. Give him the document. He opens the document and quickly scans its contents. After a moment, he sighs, then folds the document and puts it inside his shirt. It seems the courts owe Lady Tryst an apology, sir. From the moment she is free, I will make all the arrangements to have her status and property returned to her. Thank you, Darren.
Updated my journal.
No, thank you. It's a rare individual who will do what you have done. He bows to you. Excuse me. I must speak with Lady Tryst. Farewell. He begins walking towards Tryst. Turns out she was telling the truth. Thing that nobody expected. Tryst smiles at you warmly. You are my savior, Cutter. I will forever be in your debt. I was happy to help you, Tryst. Thank you, Cutter. She glances about, then pauses to think for a moment. You have saved me from certain death, Cutter. A slow, painful death. She frowns as she thinks. Please wait here. I'll return slowly. Shortly. She turns and walks away. You see Tryst approaching. She smiles and waves at you. Hello again, Cutter. Thank you for waiting. She looks about for a moment, then removes a purse from the folds of her dress. With the document you provided, the courts restore my status and finances. This is not much, but it is a well-deserved reward for what you have done. She hands you a purse. Thank you, Tryst. No, I thank you. Farewell, Cutter. Farewell. Kept getting showered in experience. Yeah, we're definitely up there now. Please level already. You are easy to kill. How much for the child? Jeez. A newborn alley has come into being, allowing me access to other wards of Sigil. I should explore these new streets and see if I can find someone knowledgeable enough to help me decipher who I am. That's interesting. It would seem that it kind of feels like they just gave up on making everything fit together at some point. They're just like, everything's attached to everything, just go. Screw it. Let's see.
I'm gone.
I'm a little curious. There we go. I'm a little curious if we'll recognize the completely missing
Done.
father. Oh, that's a corpse. Da, what happened? Who did this to you? There's the bronze sphere.
Can't run while I'm carrying all this.
Cannot run. 2 to 7, crushing, enchanted. This rickety wooden staff has a crosspiece nailed to the top. The crosspiece is wrapped in rags, presumably to keep the damn thing from jamming too sharply into Farrod's armpit when he leans into it. The crutch, not surprisingly, smells terrible, and every inch of it is covered in dirt, sewage, and various unidentifiable stains. Something about this crutch makes you wonder, despite its fragile appearance, it has held up rather well. You even test it with your weight and it holds you up without so much as creaking. Perhaps Farrod's scavenging nature. Considering Farrod's scavenging nature, the crutch must have had some value beyond its surface appearance for him. Might even be usable as a weapon. What a thing to default to. Still wondering about this bronze sphere overall. Do we have a lawful good character? Chaotic neutral. Lawful neutral. Nope. I'm the only goody boy. Cannot rest here. I don't think the game has ever let me rest anywhere besides dialogue.
Ready.
Or sorry, yeah, well yeah, dialogue. Talking to specific players. Dialogue?
Aye. What is it you want then?
Anna, do you know how Farrod died? She shakes her head. I dunno. No one with half a mind would... Farrod got a long shadow, he does. Yeah, you cross him, and you end up getting the stick, you will. You don't have to accompany me anymore, Anna. If you need to stay in the burning village, Nay, she interrupts you. I don't need to be in the village. And I was wondering what I'd do if Farrod got penned in the dead book I was. She snorts. Oh, well. He's probably mounting someone's walls in the hells, he is. But he's your father, don't you? Not me real da, he wasn't. Her eyes take on a hard look. He was greedy, and he was stupid, and he was selfish, and he was weak. She frowns. And now he's dead, and that's all. Alright then. Tell me a little about Farrod. Old Stutter Crutch? He's my dad. Well, not my real dad. He found me when I was a wee girl. Anna shrugs. He needed a collector to crawl into places the rest of his fat gullies couldn't squirm, so he took me under his crutch. Same backstory as, like, Star-Lord. I didn't think you and him looked much alike, anyway. Anna's eyes narrow, and her tail begins to lash back and forth. And what do you mean by that, then? I meant that you don't look like each other. And now what could have tipped you off to that? My hair? My skin? I can't think of anything else. Anna slaps herself lightly on the forehead, then sneers sarcastically. Maybe it was the tail. Oh, aye. That might have been it. You're so much sharper than I am, ya. A real gem. What in the hell's is your problem? I make a simple statement and you twist it like a dagger. A dagger's a dagger, so it is. All's I was saying is that you and Farrell look nothing alike. The two of you don't have much in common. And his face flushes deep red. Oh, is that so? And how do you see that? Lie? You can either be weird. This is like too flirty, but this one's cruel, so it kind of just pens you in. I mean, have you ever looked at yourself? Aside from the way you carry yourself, you're confident, sensible, and graceful, and that doesn't even take into account your obvious good looks. You have that rich, fire-red hair, those sharp green eyes, and that striking profile. And it just stares at you. So that's all I meant when I said you and Farrell look nothing alike. Anna nods, still staring at you. She doesn't even blink. Are you listening to me? Anna suddenly leans in and bites you sharply on the neck, giving a soft hiss. Rather than pulling back, she presses closely into you, whispers into your ear. Do you fancy your chances? Her tail begins to lash slowly back and forth, but the rhythm is more hypnotic than angry. You can feel Anna's heart beating fast in her chest, and the color rises into her cheeks. You suddenly become conscious of the fact that Anna's skin is smooth, soft. I want to tell you something. You can't poke fun at me. All right. Do you know I like the way you smell? Oh, aye. It drives me balmier than a Chaos Man, it does. She sniffs up the side of your cheek and gives you a low, eager hiss. I see the way you look at me, and I like it. You've got hungry eyes, you do, and it makes me afire. I want to bite you, soft-like around the neck. She teases the skin of your neck with her teeth, never breaking skin, and with every whisper, you can feel her breath along your ear. Her hand slides up around the back of your neck and tightens, and you can feel her nails digging into your skin. I want to drag my nails along the back of your neck and force you to kiss me. Hold her and listen. Do you know I can smell you from 50 paces? That smell of formaldehyde pouring off you like one of them dusty shamblers. Maybe if you cleaned yourself up some, you'd be a real prize. Her eyes flash. I'd make passion with you so hard you'd be knocked off the spire. Make passion with you? She steps back, her tail flicking lightly against your leg, then gives you a hard stare. So, do you fancy me? Planescape Torment Gay Romance. Literally not even a single related, not even a really yeah, I'm pretty sure this just isn't an option. I figured. Once upon a time, this was relatively new. So I don't think there are anyone else. So like, might as well just pursue the story just for the sake of it, I guess. Grab her, bite her back. You grab Anna, and before she can squirm free, you bite her lightly on the neck. As your teeth touch the skin, Anna hisses loudly, clawing like a cat, and tears away from you. I was only teasing you, you scarred vampire. Leave off. Despite her protestations, however, her face is flushed, and she's breathing heavily. And watch your mitts next time. She crosses her arms. You're making me red, you are. Lie. You bite me, I bite you. If you don't like it, then don't do it. I'll do what I please, so I will. Anna sneers. She still seems to be a little flushed. You just keep your mitts off of me, you hear? Enough of this. Awkward to have that entire exchange right next to her father's corpse. Whoops. But she got into personal space very quick-like. As you approach the archway, it begins to shimmer faintly. You notice that Farad's crutch emits a similar glow. Touch the archway with the crutch. And that's where he keeps his vault. Well.
All right.
We're off on a tangent now, aren't we? Wait, why cheese? It looks like it was once a gallows pole. Now only a lantern hangs from it. These alcoves contain books and more books. They are indexed and placed in order among the shelves. Zooming and changing the text box was really disorienting.
It is I. I shall serve.
Get you some more of these spells. We are a tad bit full up. Probably don't need any of this junk anymore. In fact, that's like 8 pounds now, isn't it? Yeah. Should definitely sell that off. Inventory is packed with nonsense. Oops.
I'm gone.
Climbing high for that one.
Endure. I shall serve.
So can you even, let's see, copy spell? I guess so.
I'm gone.
His spells were so strange that I thought he might not even be compatible with the stuff that the rest of the like engine works with. Although the spells he knows might just be renamed versions of spells that already exist. And that's just how he learned them. Segmented earring. What we need to do is teach him how to identify again. Glass eye. This glass eye is a poor replacement for a real one. This is your eye. It looks like it's seen better days. I only have one eyeball slot, strangely. What confuses me is that when I took my other eye out and replaced it, the guy at the counter had to like guide me to the new one, as if to suggest that I couldn't see it while my eye was out. But every rendering of the character I see seems to suggest he has two eyes. So he should have been able to see with his other eye, right? Can I just put this in? Stinger earring. +2 to armor class and +2 armor class versus piercing attacks. Hello. That's just a good item for free. Is this really his entire vault? Oh, the portal's downstairs. Overall, there's just kind of like a handful of spells. And I guess we got some earrings and an eye. Not heavy on surprises.
I'm gone.
But that resolves that particular mystery about his hiding place. You can't use that click where a moving target gets tracked by the camera if you double click on the portrait. It works on some games.
All right.
I guess I can deal with these people over here now, because I'm stronger. Although we're not very healed right now. Too dangerous to rest. It's always too dangerous to rest here. I might still get crushed. There's a lot of enemies.
I'm gone.
But hey, my character can be controlled now, so at least there's that.
I shall serve. Tantus Valley.
I'm here.
Balance in all things.
This is what I get for getting into a scrape.
Whenever somebody tries to run away, I definitely want my characters just to like redirect to someone they can actually see, please. Stop dying! Is she bleeding? I don't think so. I think she was just getting her ass beat. Sir? 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 I have to pause the game just to click on him because he keeps moving around too much. I missed my insult. Oh, this sucks. At least when I could use that curse on people, they'd fucking come back to me. Alright, no, we need to get back upstairs and rest. She almost died.
Done.
Hopefully no one puts together the correlation of just the fact that, like, we... Oop. Gotta go, like, here first. Maybe I do need to keep my junk. I was gonna get rid of it, but they might still require me to use this door. At least on the way back. You might be able to soft lock yourself and get stuck in here. When I walk around town, it teleports me, but one of the teleport spots I can do is to take me all the way into the buried city, but then leaving the buried city doesn't teleport me back out. And that portal requires that. Wow. I need healing. Very well. She reaches for one of the dried herbs in her belt, snaps out the stalk, and grinds into the calloused palms. She starts... Small wisps of dust and pollen arise out of her hands. Then she mumbles to herself, then blows the dust into the air. Take a deep breath.
My journal.
The gray pollen swirls around the room, blanketing you and your companions. You breathe deeply, and less than a moment later, you feel strangely refreshed. Oops. I keep thinking I can tab through all the different tabs, then set them all at once. You really gotta do it all. You gotta do it on each individual page. Let's see, Skull of Identify by... Oh, Identify's right here too. At some point her...
It is I.
Oop. At some point her health bar got toggled, because if you click on any health bar it becomes numbers. And it strangely is handled individually instead of per character, like instead of a collective change of preferences. I don't really know why somebody would want to just change one. +1 AC versus missile attacks, -1 AC versus crushing attacks. 10% detect traps skill bonus. That go +1. So +1 to hit and a defense against ranged attacks, but all melee attacks are more likely to hit you. That doesn't seem like it might. That seems like it might not be worth it, given that crushing attacks are probably pretty common. That's all blunt attacks. Being more likely to hit you. Having a better hit chance on every attack is good, but collectively being attacked by a bunch of people, and those people all having a higher chance to hit you, can be disastrous. At first glance, this glass eye seems a poor replacement for a real one. However, when inserting into an empty eye socket facing inwards, its power awakens. Although the eye dulls the wearer to colors and sights, it increases his awareness of angles and shapes, giving the wearer greater accuracy with weapons and giving him a greater chance of dodging incoming missile attacks. Furthermore, mechanical traps stand out to the viewer's vision, making it easier to spot and disarm them. The user becomes more vulnerable to crushing attacks, however. Some of the fragility of the glass eye seems to be transferred to its wearer. That seems like that's not possible. She has an ear slot up here? Wait, that's a vest slot? Armor class 8. Anna's vest is similar to leather armor, but it seems more flexible and allows her greater freedom of movement. You're not certain what creature's hide, if any, was used to make the vest, but it seems durable enough. 3 straps help secure the front, and a staggered series of braces run down the left arm. If necessary, Anna can slip her punch daggers into the bracers to conceal them. He's also got armor. Armor class of 5, 8. But then she has worse armor class because the number's higher? Is how that works? Right, this is so confusing. +1 to armor class makes her armor class go down. Of course. But this doesn't change his armor. I'm so confused. Dakon's ceremonial Zerth armor is fashioned of interlocking metal rings formed of the same substance that Dakon's blade is made of. Unlike the blade, however, it does not appear that the armor changes based on the mental state of the wielder. The armor is worn over a padded red tunic, and spiked bracers and shoulder pads have been added to give greater protection to the arms and upper body. While Dakon's armor is similar to chainmail, it is lighter and more flexible, allowing him to wield his sword more effectively. Furthermore, it seems that when the sword and armor are used in tandem, the armor becomes even more fluid. Whether it is a unique property of Karak or whether it is some magical effect of the two items is unknown. To him or us? We sure do just have some items hanging out. Cheese! It's a piece of cheese. Alright, doing better.
Done.
I wanted to see if we had follow-up on the corpses situation. Did I find enough information to answer this guy's question? Have you done what I asked of you? Found what he's up to? Yes. Farrod's supply of dead bodies is coming from the catacombs beneath Sigil. He makes a lot of jinx selling corpses the dustmen already buried back to them. Right, that was the reveal. $750. Old-timey experience amounts. I let this sit for too long. His eyes widen in surprise, and he begins to shout. How in Bator did he get down there? That piking bastard. If you want to know how, that'll be extra. Alright, half what I'm paying you on top of what I'm giving you already. 300 coppers and all. Deal? Deal. His bolt hole is actually a cavern complex that leads to a small city block buried beneath Ragpicker's Square. From there, there's a gate that leads down into the catacombs.
Updated my journal.
I can't believe that bastard's luck. Actually, I think his luck ran out. He's dead. What? The news slowly sinks in. Oh, the lady has blessed me today. Aye, she has. Here's your jink, Cutter. Enjoy it. One less thing on my giant to-do list. Never did find that guy's lucky knife. Well, we did. It's in that one skeleton. But I didn't want to just attack him. Or he was a ghoul, I think. Just seemed kind of rude.
All right.
I didn't want to just attack the guy, but I couldn't really get the... I didn't really see any other way to get the dagger at the time. And, I don't know. Kind of put it off for later, potentially, but we're pretty far removed now.